Yo, what's up? This is Matt M. You are now listening to Get It featuring Amari and Disciplina off my new album Rio Grande Vibes. Make sure you subscribe to DNC Digital. Yeah. Yo. Wait, till my money right, I'ma prove them wrong. Via left, but there ain't a road. Gotta pave my own, and I'm Mexican, so I probably can. Damn, stereotyping myself. Y'all probably think I like being shit I do. These fields is my view. They insert your dreams, get a job, go to school. It's a cycle, but as soon as you learn that it's your life, you'll probably be free. But then the system fuck us up, cause they don't teach us money. Got us buying these things, traded all wings for strings. They told that boy that he ain't shit, so he became a Marine. Told that girl to learn to cook and clean, never intervene when the men are talking. Old school shit, it's time to put this in a coffin. We are all the same, we are all to blame, but the only change you could bring is within. So to all my family and friends, you got one life to live.
Ooh, you know you gotta get it, get it, get it. You know you gotta get it, get it, get it. You know you gotta, you know you gotta, you know you gotta get it, get it, get it. You know you gotta get it, get it, get it.
You know you gotta.
Ooh,
Man,
yeah.
I paved the road, so I'm moving forward. I give the orders now. Shit, I turn the junk room to the slaughterhouse. A bunch of deadbeats like a Jerry Springer show. They don't know I've been on the road. Check my A's nowadays. It don't matter if you great. All that matters if you pay. Getting laid to these women made of clay. But hey, to each his own. Stay in your zone. And may you get what you desire. But try to match my fire when I'm gassed up. You get passed up. They all trying to get the masters on what I've mastered. Buy my bread like a fucking pasture. But you know I ain't no actor. All those dudes that act tough, homies, they get clapped up quick. It's either that or handcuffed wrist. Please, brothers, throw your hands up quick. Yo, cause I'm not trying to see you leave. If anything, I wanna see you persevere and achieve. Come on.
Ooh, you know you gotta get it, get it, get it. You know you gotta get it, get it, get it. You know you gotta, you know you gotta, you know you gotta get it, get it, get it. You know you gotta get it, get it, get it.
You know you gotta.
Ooh,
You know you gotta. Yo. Been sitting on my degree since 2017. I don't think it's useless, but I could think of 50 things that I would rather do. I'm already rapping down to 49. Fuck being 25, being underpaid for my time. Props to everybody working 9 to 5. I'm aiming to get paid 5 to 9 G's a week. This can't be for the weak minded. Got some skills and sweet time and leave it all for the kids. Walk downtown, do some shirt signing, but first I gotta get it. Don't even know what it is, but I know that I'm with it. If I wasn't doing this, I know I would regret it. You could do the same thing, just go out there and get it. Just go out there and go out there and get it. Me parece a mí que ustedes pueden más, pero no quieren, dejándose llevar, así que pido no me esperen. Tengo mucho que decir porque la música es en breve. Tomo mucho tiempo, pero ahora aquí espera el que debe. Finish up your own book, I know you haven't read it. Don't wait till the last page, sell out and try to sell it. Esto es mi deporte por las copas que ya vienen. Vuelo al aire libre, aquí nadie me sostiene. Crecer teniendo todo porque nada me detiene. Disfruta cada día, lo mejor es lo que viene. Disciplina.
ooh, you know you gotta get it, get it, get it. You know you gotta get it, get it, get it. You know you gotta, you know you gotta, you know you gotta get it, get it, get it. You know you gotta get it, get it, get it.
You know you gotta.
Ooh,
Man, you know you gotta.
yeah.
From DNC Digital, back with another episode of DNC Radio. I hope everybody's doing good. Thank you guys for listening so much. Really appreciate it. If you like these interviews, make sure you hit it with a like, subscribe, hit the bell for the notification whenever an interview pops up. Today's guest is Matt M. Matt M is a dope rapper out of South Texas, and he's doing his thing. He has a new album coming out, collaborating with a lot of artists from the Rio Grande Valley. And we're just going to talk about music in general, hip-hop, and the way it's changed over the years and where he sees hip-hop in years. So, Matt, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
Yo, man, thanks for having me, man. I'm pumped. What's up?
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for doing it. I know you've been a busy guy. You've been putting out your music and that new album that came out
Yeah,
But
man.
how you doing during this pandemic? Because I know that you've been doing shows after the pandemic hit. You know, obviously we shut everything down. So, do you feel like this time gives you it's more instrumental because you get to write a lot more, or is it more like writer's block, or does it mess with you mentally?
Nah, man, I definitely like it definitely kind of helped me in a positive way. I got more in depth with my writing. I have a lot of content right now, so I'm just kind of like I'm a little overwhelmed, on like what I'm trying to do next. But yeah, man, it has put me in a position where I'm able to come home every single day and come to the studio every single day for at least 5+ hours. Um, so yeah, man, I mean, and like that did kind of hurt me when we weren't doing shows anymore. But then we started to do more live shows, and just trying to adapt to what's going on and just kind of dabble in everything. But it's always been a good response, going live. We get a good reach on Facebook, especially. Not too much on Instagram, but Facebook, yeah, for sure.
You definitely have a lot of support in the Rio Grande Valley, and you've been collaborating with a lot of people. What we just played, by the way, is the song that you heard at the top of the hour is called "Get It," featuring A. Marie. Is that it?
Yeah, Amari and Disciplina. Yeah, those are two people that are part of my group. Junk Room Music, and yeah, I feel like that song is it means a lot. It's kind of like we're trying to get the people moving, get them flowing, get everything, like get you motivated type shit.
So, how did that song come about? Did you decide that we're all going to collaborate, or did you bring what you had to them?
Yeah, it was kind of like I had an idea. I had I had an idea, and then it was probably the easiest project I'd ever put together because I literally had to write just a hook and a verse. Usually it's like you write three verses and a hook, and it's just like it takes some time. But like this album was one of the fastest ones that I ever written. Hey, sorry, my kids are in here in the back. Say hi.
Great, how you doing?
Hey, hey, y'all go over there real quick for a little bit, okay? Sorry, buddy.
What's going on in here?
But yeah, man, like I went ahead, like these are artists that I've been working with over time, doing this. Like I started back in 2009, really 2010, and over time, like these are people I've known, but I was real to myself up until last year. You know what I mean? I didn't really work
What
with.
do you mean real to yourself? Oh, like you mean to yourself, as far as
Yeah,
like
I was
not
real
working.
to myself. Like I was not collaborating with a lot of people. You know, I was real like secluded. I just wanted to do my own thing. And then like something just hit me, and I was just like, man, like there's so many people I know, so many talented people I know. I was like, I need to do something. And Revenge of the
Well,
Dreamers kind of inspired a lot of it.
everybody, I feel like everybody's a rapper. Whoever says that they don't rap on the side is a liar. Everybody wants to
Yeah.
write something to put together. I myself do it as a hobby, just whatever, freestyling
Yeah,
to a
man,
beat
it's
or whatever.
fun. It's fun.
So, made you to decide I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a rapper. I'm gonna put myself or invest a lot of time and money into music.
Um, Probably when I started it, because like after I like once I started, that was it. I was in deep, man. I was writing every day. I was listening to music differently. I came in contact with so many people that put me on to different shows. I met a homie. He's like my best friend. His name's Fabian, and he really put me on the audio game. Like he was my engineer, and he put me on the engineering side, so I was learning through him. And it was just like I was in deep, man. Once I got in, it was just like, man. And then like I moved to San Antonio. I ended up going to school for audio in San Antonio, which put me in another position. Because like when I realized I wanted to do music, I wanted to hit it on all aspects. Like I didn't want to just be a rapper. Like I wanted to produce. I wanted to engineer. I wanted to throw shows. I wanted to have different ways to get income from this so that I'm able to do this for like legit, you know. And I feel like it's only been like 2 years since I've gone, like since I opened the studio, since I've started throwing shows. Like it hasn't, it's we barely scratching the surface, you know. But
Yeah, but you still get a lot of support from people in the valley. Talk about that. Talk about how important that is to you, especially people from around the city where you live.
I mean, yeah, man, it's it took a while, you know, but it's love now. I guess that a lot of people just appreciate the art itself, or like, you know, the message I'm trying to put out. But I mean, it helps a lot, man. Like it definitely, like it, this industry, it's very tough. It's very consuming. It's like very, like you can be in a position where you're down on yourself, you know, like it puts you in a negative place where you feel like maybe something's, it's impossible, you know. But definitely, like the people you love and the people you know from your own city giving you the feedback and like telling you like that it helped them, like that definitely helps me keep going, keep gives me a reason, like, okay, this is why I was doing this in the first place. Like I'm not trying to reach an industry standard. I'm just trying to help the people closest to me, you know, be better people for themselves and their families, you know.
That's dope, man. So who was it that you were? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm an old school cat, so I'm not sure how old you are. But who are you listening to growing up?
What do you mean?
As far as music, as far as rap, like who were you
Oh,
listening to
like,
growing up?
oh man, for a long time I was just listening to Cole, bro. Like Cole, J. Cole, Wale.
That's who you grew up on? Like,
Yeah, man.
how old are you,
Yeah,
bro?
I'm 29.
Okay, okay. So you were
Yeah, I'm a
listening to
little
a
bit
lot of
older.
J.
So
Cole.
like a lot of J. Cole, because I want to say when I was younger, like in my middle school days and a little bit like early high school, I was into alternative music because that's what my brothers were listening to. I
Okay.
wasn't really too big on like, I was whatever was on the radio, I was listening to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never, like, if I go back, I never saw myself doing music ever, like up until my senior year. Like that's when I first started. So like my whole youth, I never like envisioned that I'd be where I'm at right now with like an actual studio. You know, like just trying to write, just trying to make music. Like
Right.
never in my mind would I have envisioned that shit.
What was it about J. Cole that gravitated you toward him?
I don't know, man. It was just things he said. You know, I like, it wasn't your typical, you know, flashy, like just boasting money, drugs type rap, you know? Like it was stuff I felt, and those things like I would think about but never say out loud also, you know? So it was just like I liked it. It was kind of a breath of fresh air for me. So I followed him, like I would go to his shows. I remember when I went to his first show and nobody even knew who he was. I was just like, damn. And he opened for Drake. And so like just to see his growth, because I've been to every show that he's ever done down here, and yeah, man, to see him sell out like a huge arena,
Hmm.
like Forest Hill Drives was like the best like tour I ever been to. Like it was crazy, bro. Like just to see that growth, like you appreciate that as an artist, and you know you want that for yourself, and it's inspiring, you know, to see where he came from.
A lot of people get to that level, but it takes a lot of compromise and it takes some pretty much sacrifice. There are
For
a lot of
sure.
rappers that say, "I am not what I rap about. What's selling right now. That's what's
Yeah,
hot. And I want to be
yeah.
successful. I want to take care of my family." Where do you fall in that? If you were to get a record deal tomorrow, but they give you a song to do, we want you to do this. You'll sell 1 million records, but we want you to do this. How do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like it'll be hard for you if that were to happen, something like that?
I feel like, yeah, man. I feel like it would be because I don't really have the type of following that the industry is looking for. You know what I mean? They're looking for someone with like million views type of clout, you know, and that's just not, you know. So like, if I'm not bringing that to a record company, I'm gonna get a shitty deal, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you kind of gotta have. So like I mean, yeah, it's just hard. It's hard to do that here in the Valley. Um, I really don't. I really don't really know why. You know,
Well,
like
you
I
gotta.
feel
Okay,
like
I can tell you why. Because I'm originally from New Jersey. Everybody knows that, and you got a different audience out here. A
yeah,
much different audience. Anybody, if they're hot, they can make a song about killing puppies and it'll still sell. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
people can do no wrong, and I think that's what's messed up music for me. Like personally, for me, I'm not enjoying what I'm listening to as far as like industry hip hop. Like your
yeah.
stuff, is dope. It's a breath of fresh air. That's why I called you. I was like, we got to do this interview. I want to help
Thanks, man.
support,
Hell yeah.
and I want to give it a spin at least, and maybe somebody who hasn't heard it hears it. But the thing is, like, when people get successful, the the general consensus is like they're just dope. There's no bad song in their album, and that's bullshit. Like, and the same thing goes with the artists. The artists, all they have are people around them that just say that's hot, that's hot. I bet you any money they got nobody telling them like, hey, that shit kind of sucks. You need to fix this or fix that.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
people just want to be friends with everybody, and that's what makes the fans like uh gravitate toward that music. Like you can do no wrong, and it's a different type of taste that they have, especially in the valley. Out here in South Texas, it's a lot of like reggaeton and a
yeah.
lot
And
of
country.
music that has like, well, yeah, and you know what, country, and I will tell everybody I don't listen to any country, but that's probably one of the best types of music out there because those
Yeah,
guys
for sure.
are talented. There's a lot of stories in that stuff. I'm just not looking for it on the radio.
I'm the
But
same, bro. I'm the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
Like,
But when you go to like downtown McAllen, you got these crowds and everything. You can't give them something that they're gonna think about. You just have to put out a good beat and a catchy tune.
yeah, yeah.
No, no depth. There's no content. It's like I blame everything on Soldier Boy. I tell everybody everything on Soldier Boy.
He
When Soldier
ruined
Boy
it.
came
He ruined the
out with that
game.
bullshit, no, he fucked. Everybody's like, oh look, he sold 1 million records doing that stupid shit. I don't
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
try anymore. And
yeah.
yeah, I went on a rant. I pretty much always go on rants on your comments and Facebook. I'm always
Yeah,
yelling
bro.
at.
Hey, bro, I bring out I bring that out of people, man.
Yeah,
People hit me up. They're like, "Hey, man, you need to stop posting stuff like this and blah blah blah." Man, whatever.
but no, it stimulates conversation and it helps because uh, like lack of exposure leads to lack of education. So if they're only playing one type of music out here and nobody knows about Public Enemy, nobody knows about Run DMC, nobody knows about Beastie Boys, they don't know about Roxanne, like a lesser known rapper. They don't know about what Ice-T really did or even Arrested Development. These are all rap groups and rap acts that are fucking classic. But because they don't play them out here, that's why it's hard to reach that audience, especially with the music you do. And that's what I'm feeling from my point of view. So like if the time were to come where you have to compromise that to be successful, would you ever do that?
I don't think so, man. I feel like I'm in too deep with my music that I wouldn't just throw away. I wouldn't just throw it all away. You know what I mean? Like maybe when I first started, but even then, like I don't know. It's tough to say, you know, because I'm like if I'm gonna go into any type of deal, like I'm gonna want to look at it as like a partnership, not like I work for you type. You know what I
There you
mean?
go.
But I'm like I said, man, I don't have the type of following that would even give me that type of advantage. You know?
Yeah, I
So
mean, but you do have people who are successful that stay true to themselves. Like one I can think about off the top of my head is Mos Def. He's always done the
oh yeah,
same.
bro.
I mean, he's not as successful as other people, but
Yeah,
he definitely never
he
changed.
never changed.
So
Yeah.
besides J. Cole, who were some of the people that you used to bump back in the day?
I guess like before J. Cole, I was I was on that Young Money bandwagon, you know. Lil Wayne had dropped Carter 3, and I was just like,
Yeah,
Drake
that
had
was
just come out. Is that I was around that era too. But like then, like even then, I wasn't never thinking of doing music. It was just and then also like I went through a mixtape phase too. So I would listen to Tyga, I would listen to Kid Ink, I would listen to Chameleonaire, I would listen to who else was I bumping at that time? Like a lot of people were dropping mixtapes. Even Nipsey, I would see Nipsey. It's crazy. I would see Nipsey a lot dropping mixtapes, but I never like went out and heard his stuff. You know what I mean? But I would see
Yeah.
his name in there, and he was constantly dropping. But
So some of your favorites now then?
right now, I've been in a super big like R&B phase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I kind of like I've always wanted to sing, so like the new stuff I'm gonna put out is dabbling in that, and it's a little, I don't want to say like, okay, yeah, it's kind of I'm dabbling in the pop area. You feel
Okay.
me?
Yeah.
And just trying to take shots at that industry, or like just shots at that group of people who would gravitate towards that. At the same time trying to keep it real, but just bring it in a melodic way. But right now I'm listening to like Anderson .Paak. There's a guy named Sir. I'm listening to I don't know if you know who D Smoke is.
Mm-mm. To tell you the
He
truth,
got,
man, I don't know who anybody new is now. I know there's a lot of little people. That's all.
there's some,
There's a lot.
yeah, nah, I'm not there, but there's a lot of talented people. There's a guy named Boogie I've been listening to like super heavy, and it's all very laid back. Like I'm very laid back with the music that I listen to.
I'm gonna send you a whole playlist of
Dude,
90s R.
yes,
I'm gonna send
dude,
because I am 34 years old, so I was an 80s baby, but I'm a 90s
so
kid.
you were in the best time of R&B.
Fuck
Yeah,
yes.
bro. Yeah, bro. I've heard so many old jams that I'm
some
like,
stuff, bro. Like it's insane. And it gets you so angry. But you know what? That's another question. How do you feel about how music has to adapt? I understand that rock and roll today is not the same rock and roll as Elvis Presley or
yeah,
the Beatles. So hip hop went from 187 on an undercover cop to beautiful. Snoop Dogg went from one side of the spectrum to the other. But as far as like adapting to music, and now hip hop is something totally different that I'm not a fan of. And I sound like an old man because when I was listening, I had older cats telling me like that shit is trash, not like it used to be
yeah.
back in the day. So do you feel like you can adapt with music if 10, 15 years down the road it's a whole different sound?
I think you can, bro. I think you can. Like I think there's a lot of artists that have proved that you can still do your thing and rap on modern day production styles. You know what I mean? Like some of the beats are really good, but it's just like a lot of people get lazy. Not even I don't want. Yeah, maybe that's the way to put it. Like they just get lazy on the lyrics, and it's just kind of like, whatever. It's not well thought out. It's just whatever rhymes, whatever comes out at the moment. And a lot of music's made like that now. Like it's a very fast pace. It's not like back then to when you could wait 2 years for somebody to drop an album and then you listen to that forever after that.
Yeah.
Like now music is so fast that you could drop like a song. You could have dropped a good song last month, but if it's not well marketed and it's not well put out, like it's already kind of forgotten about. You know what I mean? And you as an artist, you're moving forward, so you're not even pushing that song anymore. Like, so like I know what that's like. Like it's just there's so much stuff coming out every single day. It's hard to compete with that.
Right. Yeah, I feel like social media made everything that fast because
Yeah, bro, it changed the game, man.
scrolling and scrolling. We didn't scroll back in the day. We just sat outside and did shit. Like we didn't have
Hmm.
MySpace, Instagram, and all that stuff. So, talk about the new album that came out.
So real,
Collaboration with all the
yeah, man.
artists.
Rio Grande Vibes was, it was an idea. it was like I was like, man, I'm gonna do my own huge collaboration of artists that are my friends. And then slowly but surely, I started getting verses coming in, and then we put the whole project together. I actually like
You
a couple of
make
days
sure,
before I wanted to.
sure, make sure you get me in the next one because my invitation must have got lost in the mail or something.
Oh, my bad, bro. I got you on the next one then.
No
Yeah,
problem.
we're actually putting together a part two, but I'm kind of moving that to we're gonna move that a little bit because we just dropped this one. But yeah,
So you
man, and
started
then
getting everybody, and was it a good response? Was everybody
yeah, man,
like well
everybody that
support?
I reached out to, everybody that I reached out to, I got verses back. Like no, there was no like I didn't have I didn't struggle in any way to get music from my friends. Like everybody hooked me up. And then so at the same time, I had just I dropped the album the year before, and it was called Malvo, and I wanted to do skits. I wanted to have like a whole skit that put everything together. And so like a couple of days before we dropped it, I wrote out some skits, like some ideas, and then I was actually looking for a lot of people that I could get on these skits. You know what I mean? I was looking for comedians. I was looking for like we reached out to what's his name from 94.5.
Sam
What's his
Daly,
name? No,
Rock and
you
Roll
know
James.
Rock and Roll James. We reached out to Rock and Roll James, asked him if he would do a skit, and he said yes. But then my time got so short that I just ended up doing all the skits by myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't hear a lot of skits back in the day. Like for all the young cats listening, like all the hip hop albums always had like some stupid funny skit that
Yeah,
used to like carry on a subject throughout the entire album.
yeah.
So let's talk about who helped you. Like when you were coming into the game and you started writing and putting things together, who was the one that looked at you and took you under his or her wing? Or can you go back and think about a piece of advice that you still carry on today?
Yeah, man. So like at the very beginning when I first wrote my first songs, I sent them to Billy Young. And Billy Young, he reached out to me and he was like he motivated me because if Billy Young had told me I was trash when I first sent him those songs like in 2010, I would probably wouldn't even be rapping. My confidence was there. I wasn't very confident. I struggled like with my confidence. And so Billy kind of took me in, and Billy really introduced me to the original hip hop because I was so radio. I was whatever I heard on the radio. I wasn't too like my mom wasn't buying me CDs.
Mhm.
Like the first CD I ever bought was Get Rich or Die Trying. Like the first hip hop CD I ever bought, bro.
How old I feel when you tell me shit like that, bro.
That was like my first hip hop CD, bro. No lie. So like it was fire. Like I remember like my jam was Many Men. Like I had that my CD player was on repeat and my mom was already done with that song. She was like, "You need to turn that shit off already." But that was my jam, bro. Like I love that one.
It was a good
And
album.
so like yeah, it was a really good album. So when Billy brought me on, Billy put me on to so much Eminem, Mos Def, like a lot of the OGs, and that's where I started to really like see like people with substance, like talking about actual
Stuff like
stuff,
actual
bro,
stuff.
like real shit that's happening. It's not like a club type music. It's like real ass shit. So like he put me onto a lot of that, and but like a person that helped me the most is he was my engineer. His name's Fabian. He taught me not to really give a fuck about what people think. You know, like doesn't matter if they like it or not. Like it's my art. You know what I mean? Like somebody's gonna feel this. You know, like it may not be that person, but that one person is gonna be like, damn, like I can relate. So like he helped me with that, and I really took that far, man. Like people would tell me all the time what style of music I should be doing, and like like where it's at, and I just like I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like no lie.
For all
I'm just
those that
like
are
that's
listening,
cool. Like
he gave me the whole shoulder and everything. Like,
like
I'm gonna let that roll right off.
eh.
I don't give a shit. I can relate to because I just finished an interview about an hour ago, and we were having that conversation. Well, for all those listening, it's the previous episode. When this is being released, it's a previous episode with Greg Ludwig. He's a paranormal investigator.
Oh
So
damn.
tell like I had that episode last week, and you're here today. So
Yeah.
these are different types of interviews. And
Yeah.
everybody tells me with my YouTube thing. I mean, you've already seen some of my videos.
Yeah.
You see how different the people are when I interview them, but everybody's like, you should stick to one subject or do just music or just sports. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that because yeah, I'll have all the sports people, but then I'm going to miss out on the music people. I'm going to miss out
Yeah.
on the paranormal people. And it's the same thing. Like I just put out what I can and
Yeah.
hope that will respond positively. That's all I can do. And then people have
Hell
been
yeah,
in
man.
just like you, man. You've been really supportive, and I appreciate that. But
Hell yeah, bro.
no, yeah, it's cool because for an old cat like me from Jersey, like I grew up 20 minutes away from where hip hop was born, so
Hell yeah.
I have feelings for this. Like this is in my heart. So when they put up a video and they put all the little fire emojis, and I listen, and it's shit, I'm like, "Ugh, why are you? Like, first off, why are you encouraging this type of behavior? You know, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but at the same time, how do you feel about because my good music may not be your good music. That's a whole nother thing. Good music is subjective. So what you think may be hot, I might not. You know. Um. So talk about some of the responses that you gotten from some of your music in the beginning.
Yeah, that's good, man. Like I know I did get a lot of, I wouldn't say hate, but like people were like, "What? He's rapping now?" You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like, "Oh, what do you know about rap?" You know? And it inspired music also. Like I remember I put out this one song where I was really upset at this one person. He inspired this song, and then I put it out, and I told one guy that the song he inspired it, and he told a lot of people. And so when I dropped the song, like it helped me get my music out, but in a negative way because they knew that song was for that guy, so everybody wanted to hear it. You know what I mean? So it was just like I got like backlash from it, like I got a lot of hate from it. So it was like that also like that helped me see how powerful my music could be. You know what I mean? To
Oh yeah.
where it could, like it got that type of response. You know?
Did you feel like you had to develop thick skin because of not only hate, but because of constructive criticism? Maybe you
Yeah, yeah,
come up to somebody and you're like, "Hey, I worked so hard on this," and they kind of tell you maybe it's somebody whose opinion that you really care for, and then they're like,
yeah.
"Hey, sorry, but that was not good." You know, do you have the thick skin for that, or
Yeah,
did
bro.
that
No,
develop?
yeah, bro. For sure, bro. For sure. Like you have to have thick skin in this shit. Like there's so much that goes with it besides, even besides like what besides, because like okay, my friend Fabian, he was probably the first person to ever tell me like this ain't it, like on a song. And it did hurt me. You know what I mean? But he told me like that's where he was like, you can't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Even what I think, like you can't
Hmm.
give a fuck. Because I respected him because he been in the game so long. You know what I mean? I was new, so I respected his opinion. But at the same time, like he helped me realize that, like, who cares? And and yeah, bro, you have to have thick skin. And also, like, there's a lot of people that will, even people closest to you, man, like people you love, like your family, like people's parents, where it's just like they tell you stuff like you're wasting your time. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's like you're wasting your time, like, focus on school, or like, yeah, with the music, stuff like that. you know, and you have to have a thick skin to be able to be like, like, it's my life. It's not your life. You know what I mean? I
If
can do
there's
whatever I
if
want.
there's any if there's any advice I can give you, and anybody listening too, when you're doing something that's not guaranteed, and I learned this from an interview with Jay-Z. Not that I interviewed him, but I'm saying like an interview that he did.
I was like, damn, bro, send me that link.
Yeah, yeah, I'll send it to you. I just have to mess with the audio real quick and
I
yeah.
feel you.
But no, so his uncle came up to him when he was started rapping, and he goes, he's like, nephew, this ain't gonna do it. This is what's gonna happen. This is you're gonna do this and that and that and that. It came from his heart. It came out because he loved his nephew. His uncle loved his nephew, and he understood that. But people will put their fear in you, and especially somebody who's gone through it, and they're like, "No, I did that, and this happened. So be careful with that." He's like, "Okay, well, that happened to you, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen to me." You
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah.
and he understood that his uncle was doing it from a place of love. Like he was just scared for him. He didn't want him to fail or anything. But he also noticed that his uncle was scared for him, and he was trying to make Jay-Z scared at the same time. So people will put
Yeah.
their fear on
He
you
was
when you're
trying to put his, yeah, because it didn't work for him, so it's probably not gonna work for you, like his mentality. Yeah, man, that's tough. Like that's tough, and that's very. What's up, my guy? Oh, sorry. I thought he brought the water for me, but he was like, open it for me.
no, he's like, take a sip and give it back. But
Yeah, bro, I'm real big. I'm real big on. I don't take too much advice from people who have never even done it. You know what I mean? Like, like I don't really understand how people push kids to go to school when they've never gone to school. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, I
Like
understand. No, I
if
do.
you've never went to school and got a degree, like you should enforce that on your kids. You feel
I'm
me?
I'm going to respectfully disagree with you on the music part, only
Yeah.
because I grew up with music and I never made any. I did make music, right? But I never got serious about making the music. But when I do try to give advice, I'm trying to give advice as a listener. You know,
Yeah.
I've never done. You did. I've never done shows. I've never, been in the studio or anything like that. But
Yeah.
if the day does come that I feel like I have to give you advice, I can only hope that you take it like from a listener's point of view.
Yeah. No,
This,
I'm talking more like I'm talking more business wise. Like like listeners, I get it, you know, they when they give you advice on the flow and how to and stuff like that. But I'm talking about like if like actually being a how to make money off your music
oh,
or like how you're gonna do this. Like if I feel like people if they've never really done it, like it's hard for them. It's hard to take it serious. You feel me?
no, yeah, I do.
Like that's just where I'm at. Like I've heard a lot of people, talk about what I should and shouldn't do, and it's just like bro, you're not doing this. You know what I mean? Like how do you even know? Like and it's not even it is from like the older generation. Like my dad's come around to my music, but his ideas are like, yo, dad, no. Like, no, pops. People don't do that anymore. You know what I
Give me,
mean?
give me one of his best ideas, and when I say best,
No.
the one that made you roll your eyes the most.
Oh, dude, the biggest thing that makes me roll my eyes is my dad's like, you need to get on the reggaeton. You need to. That's where it's at. I'm like, pops, that's like way off. That's way off from what I'm trying to do, man. That's like no. He's like, just make us the big bucks already. I'm like, nah, man, chill. He wants a Bad Bunny. You know what I
You
mean?
want this son to be successful, man. That's all it
He's just like, sell out already.
is. Sell out.
I'm
Hey,
like,
so
nah, man.
talk about our mutual buddy Ray
Ray,
Ray Francois.
oh, okay, bro. So Ray first came to me not that long ago. We recorded his first song. It was off of that Venom remix. It was a
Mm.
Venom remix, and super chill dude, man. Like
No, okay. I want you to tell me because you can confirm it. I want you to tell me what was your first impression of Ray because all the guys have the same first impression of Ray.
he was very like, shoulders. He was, like just head bobbing. Like, but this last time that he came, we actually like we got in depth with conversation, and we were just talking about. I'm real big on conspiracy, so like we kind of like we were just vibing.
Yeah.
So it was he was a lot more laxed this last time.
Did you listen to the last episode that I did on conspiracy theories?
No, bro, I didn't. It's a new one.
Yeah, it's a new one. It's the newest one, I think, or the second newest one. It's if we're doing this correctly, it's 3 episodes before this one.
Okay.
I'll send you the link.
What was the
Oh,
like,
dude, we talked about JFK. We talked about Pizzagate. We talked about 9/11. We talked about. Oh, bro, you want to hear the best one? That
yeah.
there are alternate universes, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, if you see do you believe in ghosts?
I guess I haven't experienced it to say I believe it. You know what I mean?
Now, okay,
Maybe
let's
I
say
just
for the
don't pay
sake
attention.
of the conversation, let's just say you see a ghost, right?
Yeah.
Now, you've heard stories of people who see ghosts of a woman in a white gown or an army guy with his backpack, things like that, right?
Yeah.
So the person has the spirit, but that gown and that backpack don't have spirits. So how are you able to see the backpack?
To see, yeah.
So the guy had Chris Ponce was my guest that day, and he said that the universe is kind of like the channels on a radio, and they intercept. You ever like switch the channel on? Yep. And so you see something that's going on right now, but like 70 years before right now in that same spot. It fucked me up, bro. It was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to Ray. What did you think about his rapping skills?
That's good, man. I mean, it also like Ray is very you can hear the era that he's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Cause but his music has, or his lyrics have content. He's actually talking about stuff, and it's just like I mean the first one he did, he went in on all the mumble rap.
Yeah. I love it.
It was good, man. It was just like, I do that too in my own way, but like, I guess like where Ray just needs to find his vocal, where he can sit in the mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but when you told me your first impression of Ray, that's everybody's first impression of Ray.
Yeah.
I met Ray last year, and I interviewed him for a movie that he did, and we'll get to the movie with your song too. But so I did an interview with both him and Joe Rodriguez, and then I was gonna do his by himself, and I was like, did you enjoy the interview? And he just had his arms crossed, like, yeah, it was cool. And I was just like,
yeah, bro, he's so chill.
I was like, damn, does this guy not like me, or do I have to, But now we're like the best of friends. We talk to each other all the time. But yeah, so bro. Anybody listening, look up the Valley Entertainment on YouTube, and you'll see Ray do the Venom remix, and it has Matt M in the video. Now, another thing that Ray did that I did, and it's also on the Valley Entertainment, is the movie ICUCI, and your song came out in that. So talk about how that came about too.
I mean, just that came with Ray, man. Ray, he wants to shoot a video. He asked if he could use my studio. In return, he said that the director would shoot a video for me. And so the day that they came to record the video, they were telling me about the movie, and I was just like, I was like, man, this is cool. Like I met Jar Film Festivals.
I know of it. I haven't met
What's
anybody.
his? I don't know who. I don't remember what his name is. The guy who runs it.
Joey, right?
Joey. So Joey, I did sound for an event that Joey hosted. You know, so that was my first time ever seeing like actual local films.
Mhm.
So when I met Ray, and then we met this y'all's director, um, I told him I was like, man, I like what y'all are doing. You know, like I would like to be involved. You know, script writing wise, I feel like I could do some shit there. You know, so and then I showed him the album, and then from there it was like that. He was just like he liked it. He said that they listened to it on the way back, on the way from where they were at, and he liked the skits. And then after that, he kind of reached out. He's like, "Can I use one of the songs?" I was like, "Yeah, bro. Like whatever you need. Like, you know, I'm down." I told him I would even write music for the actual movie.
Mhm.
And well, since I saw the film, now I have a concept, you know, to go off of. Because at first I didn't really know what it was about. You know what I mean?
So what did your people think about your song being in the short film?
They were tripping. I mean, everybody doesn't really like the response I get. It's I mean, it's love. You know, everybody kind of trips out. They're like, "What? Like, this is local?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, man. It's like they're like, what? People do stuff locally, like movie wise." I was like, "Bro, people do everything here. Like, it's just like, you know, it was just cool to be a part of it. You know what I mean? And the fact that it was that song was badass too, because you know
What did you
that
think
was just about what
about the movie? What did you think about the movie?
I thought it was cool, man. I thought it was very like Miami Vice type. You know, I think about when, especially like the whole car scene. I think about Bad Boys when Martin Lawrence is like spilling shit, and I mean, Will Smith is like spilling shit in Martin Lawrence's car. Like it's good, man. It's good. Like I actually, you know what, bro? Ray showed me a scene where y'all shoot out.
Hmm.
Okay, that was cool too, bro. Like I was like, damn,
Yeah.
dude, I can't believe y'all did this. Like,
If anybody's listening, go to Valley Entertainment on YouTube and look up ICUCI. I don't think I mentioned it, but I am in that film that your song is on, which was cool
yeah.
because I didn't know until the release of the movie. The funny story about that one is that after I interviewed Joe and Ray, we all kept in touch. And then Ray says, "Happy New Year. I got some news for you. I'm writing a role and I'm thinking of you. So if you would like to, you can take this role and be in our next project." Bro, I was like so happy. I was like, this is fun.
Let's go.
I'm going to knock this out of the park. Let's go, right? I read the script and I was like, why is my character such a pussy, bro? And then when we're shooting,
Hey, but he's a criminal on edge. He's on the edge, bro. You know, he's like
but at the same time, I'm like, while shooting, I turned to Joe and Hugo and I'm like, why does my character think he's dying if he just got shot in the arm? It's
Yeah.
just an arm.
Yeah.
But I might be saying a little too much about the movie. I'll quit it. But the funny part is I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, hey, my character's like a wuss. He's a little bitch. And then she was like brushing her teeth while I was telling her, and she stops and she looks at me like, "Didn't Ray tell you he was thinking about you when he was writing this role?" I was like, "Son of a."
What a jerk, bro.
Yeah, bro. But it was so
bro.
cool to be connected that way though. Like it was so.
And
And
that-
well,
was this-
I'm sorry to cut you off. What were you saying about that song? That it was important
Oh,
for
it was
the song
kind
to
of
be in
like it was like when we were coming up with it, we're thinking Valley Anthem. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like I wanted to have like an anthem. I wanted to be able to say, you know, like I'm from the Valley. I wanted to be able, but without making it tacky. You feel me? Like I didn't want it to be tacky because that's kind of like a lot of stuff I hear is real. Like it just feels like it's kind of forced or real tacky to me. I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at a listening point. But I would definitely want to take a shot at a Valley Anthem, and it was just cool that was the song they picked. You know, that was like badass. Hey, but how long have you been acting, or was that this is your first role?
That's my first role, really.
Badass.
Yeah. Well, I did some acting after high school. I did. This is my first role in a long time. So I did two independent films, and I was an extra in a lot of stuff. Like I was the people in the background in movies.
Yeah.
Like I did Law and Order. I did Find Me Guilty, which is a Vin Diesel movie nobody ever watched. I did 16 Blocks, which is another movie nobody ever.
Was that after Pitch Black? I mean, had to have been, right?
No, yes, yeah, definitely. There was definitely after Pitch Black. It was damn. It must have been. I graduated 2004, so it must have been like 06, 07, because I moved out. I moved out here 08, so it was like 04, 05, 04 through 07. I was like really serious about acting. Then I came out here. I did radio and stand up and gaming, and now I'm doing interviews. And rest is rock and roll history, like they say.
Hell yeah. Amen.
But that was cool because it connected all of us, all doing different stuff. Like, and it was cool to be a part of that movie because all I had to do was my lines, just my lines. Like on here on my YouTube, I'm in charge of everything, you know. So it was really cool. But yeah, thank you for that. I got a lot of cool responses from that,
bro.
movie.
That's cool, man. Yeah, it was cool. The whole.
Back home, they were just like, "Bro, you're such a bitch, man." I was like, "Man,
hey, man, this is my character, bro.
Just my character." I was getting
I'll fuck
method
you up in real life.
Hey, Matt, tell them where they can find you and tell them how they can listen to your music, bro.
Yeah, cool, man. You can find me on all social medias at Matt M Raps. You can follow my group at Junk Room Music on all social medias. The latest album is called Rio Grande Vibes. You can find it on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Google Play, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much, where you can find me at. Subscribe to my YouTube. It's a Junk Room Music also. All my music videos, we put it out through there. And yeah, man, that's actually what I'm trying to work on next. I'm trying to put out more videos. That's where I lack. I feel like that's where I'm struggling, video content wise.
Well, I'm
like
sure
I have the songs, but
dope stuff coming out. I'm sure we're going to be listening to a lot of more new music, refreshing music in the face of all this mumble shit. But thank you, Matt, for being a part of this. Thank you for doing the show. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you
Matt M Rap on all social media. Check out Rio Grande Vibes, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your music. This is D. You can follow me at DNC Digital DNC Digital on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Hit it with a like, comment, subscribe, hit the post notification bell so you can see when the new interviews drop. Thank you guys so much for listening. From Matt M, this is D, and I'm out. You guys have a good day.
Later.